Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Nelly and I am an indie author of 7 books currently. And today we're going to be talking about my personal 2023 goals. So last year when I filmed my 2022 goals, I put career and personal together. This year I'm breaking them up. So my career goals should already be up. And in this video we'll be talking about my personal. In my personal, we're doing something a little different. I didn't do this at all for 2022. I didn't do this for my career because I didn't feel like it made sense for the career goals video. But I've seen a lot of people do this where they pick a word for the year. I've seen people do it for author stuff too. I didn't feel like it would really fit with my author stuff. So I just didn't make a word for my career. But for my personal life, we have chosen my 2023 word, and that is experience. And I feel like it's gonna make a lot more sense once I go through my goals, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, every single one of these kind of like, mostly, all of them tie in to that one word. And I actually didn't do that on purpose. I had these goals already written, and then when I was thinking about, I wasn't even really thinking about it. I was like, oh, would I have a 2023 goal? And immediately experience came up and I was like, that's good. I also, a few days ago, ended up making my vision board, which my vision board does not have everything on this list. Some things is like kind of hard to make into a picture. I mean, you can. I definitely could have. But I will post that vision board here. It is the thing that's on the background of my computer. All the screens when I open it before I sign in kind of thing. It's just always there. I had one for last year too. I actually didn't share my last year's one, but I'm sharing this one. Actually, funnily enough, when I was making this vision board, I didn't choose the color based on anything, but it was basically my entire computer is pretty green now because of that vision board. And so I was like, color theory. So I looked up green. And based on colormeanings.com, I looked up different places too. They all pretty much seem to have the same answers. And green means harmony and health and growth and safety. And I feel like that's a very well encompassing color for this year. So like I subconsciously chose green, but it works so well with how I want this year to go. And actually, funnily enough, it says the negative is inexperience, and that is the goal, is to take that inexperience and turn it to experience. So it all comes full circle. Okay, so goal number 1 is for my 23rd birthday this October, I paid for a boudoir photo shoot for myself, but it's like, it's a photographer, so they book out. So it's in April. So goal number 1 is to do my boudoir photo shoot. It's something I've wanted to do for years. And so this year, when I saw she had like a waiver fee kind of thing, it's still very expensive. But this year I decided I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give myself that for my birthday. So first experience, one thing that I want to do for years is that boudoir photo shoot. I'm so excited for it. Her pictures that she's done for other people, the ones she has on her website and everything, beautiful. I cannot wait. And she has like luxury shoes and all that. Like she has everything for us. Oh, I'm so excited. Goal number 2 is the big one for this experience section of, it's not a section, it's the word for the year. Goal number 2 is my actual 24th birthday present to myself, which I will be buying most of it before my 24th birthday, but then I'll be experiencing it during my 24th birthday. So the goal that I feel like I've mentioned in multiple videos before creating this one is I have about a 2-month to 2.5-month trip planned to the UK for late 2023. So I'll be there around my birthday. And that's the goal, is to do my UK trip. I have main cities, London and Edinburgh, but where else I'll go, we'll see. I don't have like everything picked out. I have like Vrbo or Airbnb and stuff picked out. I haven't purchased any of it, and I plan on purchasing them closer to summertime, which is why I say I'm gonna buy a lot of it beforehand, because most of the money needed, I have budgeted pretty much everything out. Most of the money needed is for where I'm gonna stay. It's for like the daily shelter costs. That I'm paying beforehand, which is why, yeah. But my 24th birthday present to myself is a trip back to the UK. If you didn't know, London is literally like my favorite city in the world, so I try to go there as often as possible. Okay, and goal number 3 actually goes perfectly after goal number 2, and that is to figure out where I'm gonna live in 2024. So because my UK trip is planned for late 2023, by the time I get back, it's gonna be around holiday season, so I'm going back home to LA to like spend the holidays with my family. And then I have to figure out where I'm gonna go, because I wanna go back to the West Coast and be closer to my family. It'd be like 2.5 to 3 hour flight up and down rather than 6 hours across the country. So we're seeing, I have a few cities in my head, but I haven't decided, and I'm not going to decide until I actually visit, and I am visiting a couple of those cities. So you'll find out, because I'm gonna be talking about it in the coming weeks. I'm visiting a couple of those cities soon, so we're gonna see how I like those. One of the cities I don't necessarily have planned to visit, but if it ends up, like if it's gonna be contested, I kind of have to visit it. I don't know, we'll see. But it's a big goal to figure out where I'm gonna be in 2024. So going back to my color, so apparently I have a word for the year and a color for the year. So my word for the year, experience. My color for the year was green. Subconsciously chose it, but it fits perfectly with everything that I want. And what I said, green symbolizes harmony, safety, growth, health. These next few ones go mostly into growth, but I feel like kind of fit into the other ones as well, because it'll bring like harmony to my life, to like really have this scheduled out. It'll be so healthy for me to have all these different things to look into. I don't really know how that fits into safety, but yeah, it's definitely a growth factor. And so goal number 4 is literally called languages. And under that, as bullet pointed, I have 2 main goals. Both of which I've been trying to do for months, and I keep pushing it. So my hope is to block out like an hour a day, kind of like how I work. So right now I do about 2 to 3 hours of work every single day. Is to block out like an hour to do one of the skills, languages, hobbies, whatever, and to actually grow in that aspect. So my languages are to learn to read and write in Armenian, because Armenian has a completely different alphabet. So yeah, it's to do that. I did start doing that last year, and then I forgot the entire alphabet, so I have to restart. And actually, like, I'm gonna do it with words and not trying to learn the alphabet, because as I'm doing the words, I'll learn the alphabet. Because doing the alphabet and then going to the words, it's just not working for me. And then bullet point number 2 under languages is to learn conversational Spanish. I don't care about the grammatical part of it. I don't care about how perfectly I understand the language, or not understand, like in English, it's like you understand commas go there, or like you have to do it like this or that, or blah blah blah. I just want to be able to like speak in Spanish. And also, I'm not gonna sound like a little gringa, okay? So I have an accent. Whenever I do speak Spanish, it's with an accent, and we definitely need to keep that accent there, because I'm not gonna sound like a little white girl. It's just not, first of all, I'm not a white girl, but also I'm not gonna sound like a little white girl. So yeah, plus my nephew is half Mexican now, so as he grows, he's 3 months now, so we got time. But as he grows up, he's gonna be trilingual, English, Armenian, Spanish. That kid's not gonna be talking shit about me in Spanish, okay? So I'm gonna be trilingual as well. If anything looks different, I'm sorry. I had to pause to charge my camera. Might have to pause again because it's not very well charged. But to continue. So on to goal number 5, and that is to consistently stay with my hobbies. Well, it's the first pick up the hobbies, but also to stay with the hobbies. And this actually goes perfectly into the green, into the growth, into the harmony of my life, into the experience. So I have 3 hobbies listed here. That's a lie. I have 4 hobbies. I don't have the 4th one listed, but it's in my head. And then my roommate. We haven't done Christmas presents yet. She didn't tell me what the present is because I don't like knowing. Like, I want to be surprised. But she told me it's a good hobby that I could pick up. So I was like, okay. So we might have 5. I just don't know what the 5th one is. Basically, the hobbies I want to stay consistent with. And then I wrote approximately how often I would like to do it per week to like realistically stick with it. So number 1 is yoga. And I have 3 times a week. And this is something I will be doing at home right there in my living room. I turn the TV on to follow a flow session. But my big goal is to 1, get back my splits because I'm gonna have my splits, but I don't have it as well as I did like 10 years ago when I was doing dance. And I want to get right, left, and middle splits perfectly down where I can like lie down with it. And then eventually, because I go to the gym, so eventually have like the big blocks where I can just like put my leg up and like over split basically. So that's my big goal with yoga. But then my second big goal with yoga is to do the handstands, which I'm telling you, social media is reading my mind because my Instagram is full of, my explore page on Instagram, full of handstand videos and like teaching you how to get there type of thing. And I'm just like, y'all reading my mind, huh? But yeah, yoga 3 times a week. Hobby number 2 I have here is to do aerial silks 1 time a week. I go to one studio. They just put their mask policy back up, so I'm not going back there until they take it off. So I'm gonna have to find a different studio. I don't really know if there are a lot of studios around me, so that's another big problem. And the places I've looked into, actually going back to goal number 3, places I've looked into for the next place I live, I make sure they have aerial studios. But yeah, when I go, I'll go for like a month or 2, and then I'll just stop for like 5 months or something. So I need to stay consistent with it. That's my biggest goal, stay consistent with it. And that'll actually help with my handstands and my splits and everything, because while I'm in the silks, there are moves where you like fully go into the splits, or so, all sorts. So it's really fun hobby too. I love being there. Goal number 3 within goal number 5, hobby number 3 is to learn to sew, first of all. And then to consistently do it, I again have once a week here. This is again an at-home thing. So I bought this little machine off of Macy's. It was like $30. I'm sure it's a kid's machine. I don't care. I bought that little machine. I just set it up right here and learn to sew. I don't know. I just feel like it's such a like such a domestic thing to do that girls should know how to do, and I don't know how to do it. So I want to learn how to sew with the machine, but I also want to do it with like the needle. The machine we're gonna start off with because I have it, and because I feel like it might take less of my patience to do that. We'll see. But it's so 4 that I don't have written here, but I also just bought a kit for this off of Amazon, is gardening. Gardening has been part of my hobby goals all year, and I kept not doing it. Ideally, I like to get into vegetable gardening, but the kit I bought is herb gardening. So we're gonna start with herbs and then move on to vegetables. But again, this is less like a 1 day a week kind of thing, because it's a daily thing. You're gonna have to like water your plants and all of that stuff. So it's more of like a daily commitment, but less time, you know? And then number 5 under hobbies would probably be whatever my roommate got me, so we'll see. But those are all part of growth, all part of experience, so I'm really excited for them. Goal number 6 is to create habits and stick with them. It's kind of going off of number 5 of like a consistency thing. Because again, a lot of these I'll start for like maybe a week or 2, and then I just drop the ball. So habit number 1 is to wake up early. Ideally, I like to be waking up at like 5 or 6 a.m. My early consistency that I had was 8 a.m. and now I'm back up. I hate waking up late because it like takes up your, like I love waking up early, starting to work, because by noon it's still bright. Even here where it gets dark at 4 p.m. it's still bright. But I got an all sorts of work done. I love that feeling, but like convincing myself to wake up 6, 5, 4, like early, impossible. I don't care how much I want it, impossible. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to like actually start waking up early and like consistently do it. Habit number 2 is to keep up my skincare. I go back and forth on this. I've dropped the ball on it again. I need to get back on it. My skincare isn't even like dramatic. I use like 3 products or something, but I'm just never long-term consistent with it. So I'll be consistent with it for like maybe a month, maybe that's my longest, and then I just drop it. So yeah. And then habit number 3 that I have under here, I'm sure there are other habits that I might want to build throughout the year, but currently habit number 3 is to actually get dressed when I get up in the morning. Because I work from home, sometimes I get dressed, but a lot of the times I kind of just stay in like a tank top and sweats or something. Even getting into yoga pants is like more dressy because it's still like fitted onto me, which is funny because years ago during lockdown, like when lockdown first started, I had my apartment, I would always get dressed. Like I always put on jeans. It just, like to me, that wasn't getting dressed. That was just normal. Like I was so used to wearing like jeans, trousers, whatever every single day that it didn't feel like getting dressed. I've dropped the ball so much this past year on that, where I like literally stay in sweats. So it's a big one for me to actually like put effort into myself daily. Plus when I'm dressed, I actually feel like I want to be more productive. On top of that, it's like doing makeup. Right now, I pretty much just do makeup when I have a sit-down video to film. Not because I don't like putting on makeup. I really enjoy it. I don't like taking it off at night. So that's why I don't like putting it on. Again, this doesn't have to be like an everyday thing, but like to be a little bit more consistent on that. Make me feel more put together. Make me feel like, oh, I'm all put together, so I have to get work done. You know? It's like a mind game. I was right, it died again. So hopefully it has enough charge now. Okay, so on to goal number 7 is to do something social every month. So my 2022 goals, I had to be more social, general goal. This time, first of all, I'm not putting that pressure on myself to do multiple things a month because I just feel like it's not gonna happen. So I have one thing a month. I already have August booked out because I'm going to Steamy LitCon. This could be like 2,500 people. So that's gonna be the most social thing I do. January, I have this like networking event thing that I have planned. So 2 out of the 12 months already have booked out. Ideally, the later months, I'll do social, I do have to do them in the UK because that's all I'm gonna be. But my social thing will be in the UK, so it'll be like networking expanded. But yeah, it's just to do one social thing a month. So that'll put pressure on me to be more social, but it'll put like less pressure on me because it's just one a month. And then it could be like a fun game for me to find something new and different to do each month. Goal number 8 is to start being outside more. This is more of a spring, summer, maybe fall type of goal. It's not a winter goal. Technically, it's actually not that bad. Like it's not raining or snowing right now. It's cold out, so I'd have to like really warm up. But like technically I could even start this now. It's just to be outside. I live near a park where it's like a regular grassy park, but there's also a swing set. There's also a tennis court. There's also a basketball court. Like it's honestly, I live in a prime location. Which is the one problem about living here is like this is such a prime location that whatever city I choose for 2024, I need to be prime location area. But yeah, because I live near the park, I feel like doing something outside is so much easier because even if it's just going for a walk, there's like a pathway around that park. So I could go for a walk there. I could get like a basketball, go shoot some hoops by myself, get a soccer ball, just kick it around by myself, go on the swings, get a tennis racket with my roommate, go play tennis. Like there's so many things we can do. So I don't really have like a number amount for this. I just like to continuously be outside more, get more vitamin C, just the fresh air, it's so much better for you. I don't really have an explanation for it. I just really want this. And then my final goal number 9, is to take more pictures. So for this one, I've always like said I want to like take more pictures and stuff. It's just when I'm doing things, the last things, like I'm one of those people where I'm like, oh my god, the last thing I want to do is ruin the moment by taking out my phone or a camera or something and taking pictures and like posing and stuff. But when I'm on people's Instagrams, I'm like, damn, I wish like I could post more and like really show my life progressing. So yeah, I'm putting into these goals so that I can actually, like, every time I'm like, oh, I don't want to take a picture, I'm like, wait, no, it's in your goals, you have to take a picture. Or if like there are times where I'm not even thinking about it, so like hopefully in those times it'll pop into my head like, wait, isn't your goal to take more pictures? Take your camera out or take your phone out or whatever. I'd be like, oh, that's right, I do have to take more pictures. So hopefully that will happen and be like consistent, because like any goal or resolution for the new year, January is pretty much when everybody does it, and then it starts to fade off. So it's to stay consistently doing that, and even doing that when I'm not doing anything necessarily, because doing it in January is gonna be a little bit easier because I'm gonna be semi-traveling with my mom at least the beginning of the month. So, you know, we're gonna have picture opportunities there. But like once I'm back in Boston, I actually live outside of Boston, but once I'm back and I'm not really doing anything other than, you know, working every day, going to the gym and stuff, it's gonna be harder to just randomly be taking pictures. So part of my goals. Okay, so as of today, it is the 20th of December. I have 208 pictures on my Instagram. So when I do a reaction video to this, I want to see how many pictures I have then. Okay, so thank you for watching my personal goals video, and I'll see you next time.